All right. This is this is actually not below the belt. This is Inside the Star here on 105 through the Fan. I know. Getting there. All right.
That far into the show.
Huh?
We're not that far into the show.
No, we're not. Matt Mayoko. Familiar with him?
Yeah.
San Francisco. We've interviewed him before. He's a 49ers insider. Really, really good. He had gotten the report that Juwan Jennings is likely out in San Francisco. This is 3 straight receivers that the 49ers have said goodbye to.
Go Balls.
And so the question was, okay, well, what about George Pickens? How are they going to replace him? How will he be involved potentially? Matt Mayoko said, I think the Cowboys are going to franchise Pickens, but even if they didn't, I don't think George Pickens is the kind of player that the 49ers would go after. His price is going to be very high. And also remember the controversy with Pittsburgh where he just wasn't a willing blocker, and that's something I can't imagine Kyle Shanahan would put on the film, watch Pickens' effort during blocking and say, that's a guy I want. So there's no doubt that Pickens is super talented, but they say San Francisco, no, they would be out on him. This is also on the heels of Nick Harris reporting that he had asked around somebody, I believe he identified as being the AFC, and said, hey, what would Pickens' value be? And they said 2. You probably max out at a 2. And so there's still some sort of reservation across the NFL with George Pickens, one that you would hope, I think right now Cowboys fans hope that the Cowboys don't share, because there is a lot of excitement surrounding Pickens and what he was able to do within this offense, and specifically some excitement from Clayton Adams in terms of, he had said that this offseason what he was most excited to get to was figuring out how to maximize those two and what they're able to do. But Calvin Watkins had an offseason primer. It's primer, right? Not
Primer.
primer.
I believe it's a primer.
Is it a primer?
I think it's primer in England.
I think it's primer.
They call it the Premier League. It's in the Premier League, right? They call it the Premier League.
Yeah, but this is spelled different. It's Primer.
That's primer.
I think it's primer.
Has anybody put on the wall a primer on the wall? No, you put a primer coat of paint.
Right. That's what that is. I think this specific thing.
It's literally the same spelling.
Okay, but like there's the same spelling of other things that we would pronounce.
Like read and red?
Yeah.
Red is R-E-D.
Well, R-E-A-D. I read a book.
That's read and read.
You've never read a book. Let's be fair.
You're right.
Come on.
All right, so off-season primer, however you want to say it, he talks about George Pickens. He says the biggest name on the pending free agent market is Pickens, and that's something we've seen on a lot of these lists so far, Chop. Mm-hmm. Number 1 free agent available across the NFL is considered to be George Pickens. So if you're not thrilled with Pickens and you need to kind of restock your team through free agency, just know that you're not going to find better than Pickens out there, regardless of what position it is. But he says the biggest name on the pending free agent market is Pickens, the talented wide receiver who can drive you crazy on and off the field. The Cowboys have not held any talks with Pickens about a contract extension and won't do so until the Combine. Here's what to expect. The Cowboys can franchise him. The deadline to tag Pickens is 3 p.m. Dallas time on March 3rd. Once he's franchised, Pickens has until July 15th to sign a contract extension, or all hell will break loose. The Cowboys can trade his rights to another team, or he can choose to avoid reporting to any offseason workouts or to training camp until he signs the tag or gets a multi-year extension. If he misses offseason workouts and training camp, he has until week 10 of the 2026 season to sign the tag. The Cowboys and Pickens expressed a desire to be joined at the hip. The same thing was said during the Micah Parsons negotiations, and you know how that ended. And I believe tomorrow is the first day you can tag, so I would expect him to get tagged sometime this week, if not tomorrow. But this is Calvin Watkins, it sounds like, at least cracking the door open, just like Todd Archer was last week. Like, hey, this could end a certain way, but know that it's also possible that this ends with a divorce of some sort. Not that direct, but making sure to remind people that Parsons was in a similar spot, and also they have the ability to trade his rights if this goes sideways.
And there's no number on the rights that has to be. So, like, I thought it used to be like 2 1s for a tagged player.
So it's the setup is that you can, if they've gotten the non-exclusive tag, that's 2 firsts or whatever it is. But what you can do is you can have their rights, and if somebody doesn't want to give up 2 first-round picks, you as a team can go, all right, well, if this still isn't going to go the way we want, we can negotiate a price.
Gotcha.
And so you're entitled to 2 firsts, but you can negotiate a price to get to it, which is what would happen with Pickens.
All right, so your number is your percent chance that he is here on a long-term deal by week 1. And long-term, obviously, is more than just this year.
I will have a better idea of it next week sometime, I think. At the moment, I would say, we'll say 40%.
40% he's here on a long-term deal.
Let's go 30.
30, okay. And then the other 70% is...
60% he's on the tag, 10% something happens.
Oh, so you think the chances that he is not on the team next year is 10%?
Sure.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted to know.
Yeah, and I think
that's really all I wanted to know.
And I think that number could shift dramatically either way. So last year it was at the Combine that things really started to privately. It didn't get out much until the summer. But last year at the Combine is when it really privately started to pick up that there was a problem between the Cowboys and Micah. And I think similarly, if we get through this next upcoming week and they're on the Jerry bus and we hear that the meeting went sideways or there was no meeting at all or whatever it may be, I think that will be telling for everybody. I think we will get back here in early March, and when we come back on the air in early March after getting back here from Indy, we're going to have a good idea of where that stands and what direction that's going to be heading for 2026.
It's Inside the Star here on Shan and RJ on 105.3 The Fan.
Nathaniel Newton.
Our guy.
Love Nate.
Big Nate.
Nate is so fantastic. He was really great on the air when we had him in studio last year. Has got such a passion for trying to explain the game to people and help people understand the game of football. And not just the game of football, but also what it takes to win. But Nate Newton, we talked about last week, he was pardoned. So his record is now cleared up, expunged, all that good stuff. He ended up tweeting, "I would like to thank President Trump and all those that work under him who put this pardon into effect. Thank you, sir, for taking time out of your busy day in running this country. Thank you sincerely, and may God bless you, Nathaniel Newton Jr." And, of course...
And I'm sure that was met with ration and...
For the most part, It was. It was not met with great reception from a small block of fans, though, who wanted to hit him with the, "You should have rejected the pardon. How can you thank him? How can you do this and that?" Guys, you got to understand. No matter who is giving you your pardon, I imagine you're going to say, "Thanks for the pardon," if they give it to you.
Yeah, I would think so. You know, I would love to see. This is one of those fake, not protests, but you know, where you stand on your conviction. Mm-hmm. It's like, yeah, you can stand on your conviction when you have nothing to gain or lose.
Right.
I would love to find the person in jail who would say, "Nah, not interested."
Right. And look, Nate's already the where people were coming down. Well, you've already served. So what's the problem? You're already back. You're doing this. Why do you need this?
Guess what? He could vote now.
Clean up the record
now.
Just clean the record up.
Right, but also as a felon, you can't.
It's
own a gun. You can't vote.
I just think, and that's a totally. But this is the wild age we live in.
Yeah.
Is that I don't care if it's. Go down the list. I don't care if it's.
Go down the list. Oh, here we go.
I don't care if it's on President's Day here. I don't care if it is Trump, Biden, Obama, W, Clinton,
Lincoln Riley,
HW, Lincoln Riley.
Why? Why, Peyton? Why?
Reagan.
Yeah, I don't care.
Go down the list.
Pardon me. Knock yourself out.
I don't care which one of them does it.
Yeah, I don't care.
That's all the presidents of my lifetime going back to Reagan.
That's it.
I don't care which one. If you give me the pardon, I'm going to say, "Thanks, Mr. President.
Thanks, sir.
Appreciate it."
Yep.
And that's where we've just gotten to this.
Can we go have lunch? Can we? Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll send you.
This is not. And even if he did, whatever, it's his choice. But this is not going out and doing a stump speech for somebody. This is on Twitter just saying, "Appreciate it." Yeah. It's wild to me the way that we can't even talk rationally about anything relating to.
I'm surprised this had pushback. Then again,
it's not much.
I'm not surprised.
There were a few people on there that were chirping about it. All right, some audio out of Super Bowl last week or week and a half ago now. Jason Garrett. This was up on DLLS. I saw this. Jason Garrett, and it got some clickbait headlines. Admits he was wrong in his evaluation of Dak Prescott. Let's listen.
Well, I mean, Dak was picked 100 and what?
He was 135.
So 134 were wrong.
Yeah,
3. Golf was good.
So, anyway, this is what Jason Garrett had to say about Dak Prescott and his evaluation.
I've often said this, that I felt like I got the evaluation on Dak Prescott wrong, because I felt like he was a quarterback who could be the starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys for 15 years. My biggest thing was I thought his transition was going to take longer, because he was a gun quarterback in college. We were going to play under center, and he was going to have to be able to do that as well as do the stuff that we're asking him to do in the gun. And I had seen other quarterbacks struggle with that transition. Well, you know the story. He loses his first game and then rattles off 11 straight wins. I don't know that I ever saw him being able to do that.
And then there he was, and Garrett's told the story before. It's a cool story when you hear him talk about the first day there in rookie minicamp and teaching him to take snaps under center. And it looked awful the first time. And Garrett was all frustrated, and Garrett goes, "No, like this," and tells him how to do it. And he goes, "Next time he did it, it was a little bit better. And it was a little bit better. It was a little bit, and every single snap after that was a little bit better." And it was like, oh, like he might be one of these guys who just takes to teaching really well. And they had that experience with Tyler Smith, where Tyler Smith had a bunch of technique issues coming out of school, took to teaching really fast, was a good student, and was able to end up being the kind of player that he is. And it was a guy that Tyler Smith, a lot of people didn't want to take in the first round because they looked at him as, oh, right, you got too many flaws, whatever else. It highlights, again, the point as we're entering draft season here. A big part of this evaluation process is finding out how good these players are as students.
Well, also, you got to find out, like, just because you're not asked to do something a lot in college doesn't mean you can't do it.
You just got to find out.
You got to find
your
out.
Projection needs to be right.
But, like, most college quarterbacks are not under center. But they all the good ones go to that Elite 11 Academy, or they go to the Manning Academy. And I know those two camps really do a big focus on under center.
Yeah.
So, like, they've done it. They've been taught it. They just don't necessarily do it in the context of an actual game because they're not asked to. Inside the Star here on Shan and RJ.